life, there's growth that's required. And this is how the system of growth functions. It reveals to you your character defects and your vulnerabilities so you have an opportunity to improve them. So a lot of times we look and we think other people have all the luck and we go, well, that person's not even a nice person. They're making a lot of money. But the universe is not really looking at whether someone is nice or not. That person will experience consequences of their bad behavior. But in the area of money, they might have a really clean consciousness. And so they will have financial prosperity and abundance, despite the fact that they have character defects in other areas. It doesn't play favorites. It plays frequencies. So whatever you broadcast, it returns to you in high fidelity. So once you understand that, you stop fighting the game. There's a lot of things that I see in the world today that I want to see changed. But I know that my job is to actually withdraw my attention from those things that I don't like and direct my attention to creating, for example, new systems, new companies, new opportunities, changes that I desire. And I realize that everything that I want to create in the world is a byproduct of me seeing things in the world that I don't like. But the challenge is most people don't understand how these laws or these rules work. And so we become addicted to paying attention to the thing that we don't like. Or we feed or fuel even more energy into it by trying to resist it. But that's playing the third dimensional game. The way that you actually change your reality is to stop fighting the third dimensional screen and start doing the inner work. Because when you do, you begin to see reality as a living mirror, one that is always inviting you to evolve. And when you finally take responsibility for your reflection, you unlock your greatest creative power, which is alignment. You start living in alignment with the reality that you're creating. You start experiencing more joy, more happiness, more calm, more peace. And the reward or the byproduct for that is creating more of what you want. Rule number 5, decide, don't hope. So I've done a lot of different episodes on the power of decision. Decision is a command. You decide something. If you look at the Latin, it's decidere. It means to cut off all else other than what you have decided. Decision is a conviction. And if you actually look at a lot of the powerful stories in Scripture, in particular in the Bible, they're decisions. The Bible actually starts out with a very clear decision. Let there be light. It is a command. When you decide, you collapse the infinite possibilities that could be into one clear possibility that is. So the universe responds to decisions like a magnet. And I'm not talking about your decisions to do things. I'm talking about your decisions about things, right? Your decision that life is always working for your greatest growth, your greatest prosperity, and your greatest evolution. Your decision that things are getting better in your life. Your decisions that you are worthy of financial abundance. Your decision that you have enough time to get the things done, and those things that do not get done can be turned over to tomorrow. Your decision that people are kind to you, that you can trust people, and that living in collaboration with others is the way of life that you choose. These are decisions about life, not decisions to do. You can make a decision to make $1 million, but if your decision about money is that it's scarce, it's going to be really difficult to make that $1 million. So decisions are really powerful. They are the one force that starts to reshape and reorganize or sculpt your reality. So reality will reorganize around your decisions. And when you hope something, or you want something, if you really look at it, inside of hoping or wanting is doubt. There's resistance. Every time you hope for something, you send a mixed frequency. It's a wobble of deciding and doubting that creates delay, that creates resistance in whatever it is that you're wanting to change. But a decision is absolute. A decision is whole. When you decide, it is with conviction, and you no longer need the outcome. You've already claimed it internally. You're now living in an anticipation and an expectation that you don't know how, you don't know when, but you know that the result already exists, and you're just waiting for it to form out of the field of possibilities into a material reality. And that inner certainty begins to draw external proof. Evidence has to show up. Life starts showing up for you, because you've stopped negotiating with it, hoping with it, doubting with it. And if you look at a lot of the hustle culture today and forcing it and believing you need to work hard or find the perfect solution or the perfect person to try to solve your problem, that's all coming from fear. Flow comes from faith. And when you move from decision, your actions are automatic. And that doesn't mean that we don't put in a good day's work. It doesn't mean that sometimes we don't work long nights. We're taking action, but it's inspired action, and it's coming from a place of inevitability. I love what Arnold Schwarzenegger said in his Netflix film. He had a 3-part series. He said, people would see me at the gym, doing another 600-pound squat or 400-pound bench press, and I would have a smile on my face. And people would say, why do you have a smile on your face? And he said, because I've made a decision. I've made a decision that I'm going to become Mr. Olympia. And I know that it is an inevitability. And so every squat I do, every bench press I do, I'm one more rep closer to my goal. The challenge or the problem is not that we need to put in effort or work. It's that we're doubting whether or not the work is going to work. But when you've decided, because you know how reality works and you understand these laws and you've claimed what's yours, now it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of steps. And now you can enjoy the journey forward, even during those challenging times, because you know your outcome is an inevitability. Doubt is the enemy. Fear is the enemy. And force is a byproduct of the doubt and the fear. Flow is the movement of a consciousness that already knows it's done. So decisions not only collapse the resistance inside of you into a conviction, decisions collapse the potential around you into the path. So the moment you decide, the path begins to reveal itself. And you say, but Dave, how can I have that level of conviction? Well, you start living according to these principles, and reality will give you a feedback that will help you build faith in the fact that this is truly how it works. That you are a powerful creator and you are creating your own reality. You'll notice as you make new decisions and as you work these principles that people, opportunities, and synchronicities start to appear in ways that logic can't predict. You become a miracle maker in your own life. And the only explanation that you have is, wow, this is how reality actually functions. This is the playbook that nobody taught me. I had just been playing according to the bad rules of life. And as you build that conviction inside of you, now your job is to dream, envision, listen, and then move naturally with whatever shows up. You don't fight reality, you surf it. You know, do I play this game perfectly? No. I was sharing with my community on a group call the other day that the last 3 or 4 days I was spending in a tremendous amount of suffering and resistance. But I understand the game. We're always going to get lost in it. And every time we do, it's an opportunity for us to strengthen the way that we play the game. Right? It's just like going to the gym. You go in and you lift some heavier weights and it's going to feel wobbly at first. I'm at a new level in my life right now, and every time I get to a new level, there's a wobble. But then I reorganize and I strengthen myself because I understand that these are the principles that govern reality. So when you decide, you set the wave in motion. And when you doubt, you get pulled underneath the ocean. And so the important thing here is to stop hoping, stop praying, start deciding. Because in the game of reality, decision is actually how you win. And by the way, if this is a conversation you want to go deeper on, we've got a number of courses and programs, the Mind Hack program, the Whole Human Program course. There are links in the show notes. You can go over and check it out. We've actually bundled them together right now. We've got an incredible opportunity for you to go deeper into this work and to learn the frameworks and get into the daily practices to go beyond self-awareness, rewire your brain, and re-engineer your reality.